Hi, my name is Billy Flowers and welcome to my channel where I talk about velocity banking and how we can use this strategy to massively pay off debt. So in today's video, we're going to see how we can knock out a $7,000 credit card. And I really like doing these scenarios because most people are more familiar with credit cards, and that's how I started. I know a lot of my other videos, I have a line of credit that I use. But most people are not familiar with a line of credit because they just don't know about them or they just have credit cards. Most people don't know about personal lines of credit, but you can get those from credit unions. But I'm going to do a lot more of these because people are more familiar with credit cards, and mainly that's one of the things that most of us have debt in. I like doing these. I'm going to continue doing a lot more of these videos just to drill it in everybody's head, just drill it in your head because, like they say, repetition is how you learn. So the more you see these, then the more you're going to learn so we can get rid of these credit cards. So let's get started. As always, we're going to start with our four key numbers. We have our income of 4,500. We have our expenses at 4,100. We have our debt, which is at 7K, and our cash flow is at $400. Now our credit card payment is $280 per month, and it has a 25% interest rate. Now we do have rent at $1,300. We have a car payment at $500 a month, and we have car insurance for $150, and the rest of the bills that we can pay with a credit card is $1,870. Now, if we were to only make the regular monthly payments on this credit card for the first year, you would get charged $1,750 in interest. And if we broke that down by month, it would be $145.84 or $4.79 per day. Now, like I mentioned earlier, since this is a credit card, we have to separate what we're going to keep in cash. That's going to pay our rent, our car payment, and our car insurance in the bank. And the rest we can put on the credit card. So in this case, we're going to have to keep $2,230 in cash, and $2,270 is going to go on the credit card. Month one, we have our $7,000 credit card, and we're going to be putting in $2,550 in income. And you're going to be looking at that and you're going to be saying, oh, wait a minute. You said that we're going to be putting $2,270 on his credit card. So what happened? Well, remember, if we're putting in all this cash in the credit card, what goes away? I'm going to let you sit there and think about that for a second. I know some of you already know what I'm going to say, but any newcomers, what's going to go away if I'm putting $2,270 in this case right now into this card? What don't we no longer have? This monthly payment, right? This monthly payment is only $280. If we're putting over $2,000 into the card, that means this monthly payment is gone, right? So if this monthly payment is gone, that means that our expenses are going to go down $280. And what else is going to happen? Our most important number, our cash flow, right? We're going to get that cash flow, right? So our cash flow is going to go up $280 to $680. So that means now our credit card payment was part of our cash payment, right? This part is going to go down $280, and the amount that we're going to put on the credit card is going to go up $280, which is going to equal this $2,550. And of course, what we're going to keep in cash is going to go down $280 because we're no longer making this monthly payment. And now we have $680 of cash flow to work with. So what's going to happen is once we put our income in with our new cash flow, the 2550, it's going to lower the balance down to $4,450. And then our expenses right here, the rest of the expenses that we're going to be charged on the credit card every month, 1870 is going to come out of the line, raising the balance up to $6,320. The interest that we're going to get charged, $145.83. I took that off of this high balance. I like to do that just to leave any kind of room for error in our math, or because I just like to see people beat these numbers. When I do a scenario for you, I'm going to have these high interest charges just so you can beat these numbers, because once you start beating these numbers, you're going to get that good feeling in deep down, and you're going to want to keep going. That's the beauty of this, because once you see your balance go down every single month, you're going to get energized. You're going to be like, you can't, it's going to get to the point where you can't wait to get paid, or if you get any kind of extra money, what are you going to do? You're going to dump it into these lines, because you already know once you do that, you're going to get charged less interest and you're going to pay down the debt faster, right? It's a win-win. So once this interest gets charged, it's going to raise the balance up to $6,465.83 at the end of month one. Month two, we have our income going in, our expenses coming out, raising the balance up to $5,785.83. $134.71 is getting charged in interest off of the high balance at the beginning of the month, raising the balance up to $5,920.54 at the end of month two. Month three, we have our income going in, our expenses coming out. $5,240.54 is the balance. $123.36 is the interest, raising the balance up to $5,363.90 at the end of month three. Month four, we have our income going in, our expenses coming out. $4,683.90 is the balance. $111.75 is the interest, raising the balance up to $4,795.65 at the end of month four. Month five, we have our income going in, our expenses coming out. $4,115.65 is the balance, and now our interest is going to be under $100 at $99.91. Balance is going to be $4,215.56 at the end of month five. Month six, you already know the deal. Repeat. Income in, expenses out. Interest, $87.82. The balance is going to be $3,623.38 at the end of month six. Month seven, income in, expenses out. $75.49 is the interest. $3,018.87 is the balance at the end of month seven. Month eight, we're going to have our income going in, our expenses coming out. $2,338.87 is the balance. $62.89 is the interest. $2,401.76 is the balance at the end of month eight. Now, since our balance is lower than what we've been putting in, I always like to flip the numbers just to make things a little easier to see on the board, so we're not dealing with zeroing the line out. We're going to have a difference, and then we're going to have to do a lot more math, which can lead to more mistakes. So I like doing it this way, just so you can see the line going down to zero. But the thing is you're going to do exactly the same thing. It's like when you have expenses that you need to get paid and you're going to take it out of the line, you're going to have your money sitting there in the checking, and you're just going to be dumping everything every single penny into the line until you have no money left in the checking, until you spent all your income and everything is in the line of credit. And you're just going to have a balance at the end of the month. And that's what is going to be on the board. It's just math. It doesn't matter if I flip the numbers over here, it's still going to work out the same. So we have our expenses coming out first, our 1870, raising the balance up to $4,271.76. Then we have our income going in, right? Made a little mistake there. That should be a minus sign. We have our income going in, and it's going to lower the balance down to $1,721.76. And the interest that we're going to get charged is $50.04, raising the balance up to $1,771.80 at the end of month 9. Month 10, we're going to have our expenses come out, then our income go in, lowering the balance down to $1,091.80. $41.08 is going to be the interest, and the balance is going to raise up to $1,132.88 at the end of month 10. Month 11, have our expenses come out, our income going in, $452.88 is the balance. Yeah, you already know. Then we're going to get charged $23.60 in interest, raising the balance up to $476.48 at the end of month 11. Month 12, we have our expenses coming out. It's going to raise the balance up to $2,346.48. And you already see what's written on the board. You already know what's going to happen. This is less than what we've been putting in. So we're going to put that $2,346.48 into the line, right? As soon as the expenses you need to get paid, you're just gonna do a transfer to that line of credit. Boom. You're gonna pay this off. End of month 12, we are done paying off this 7K, starting off with $400 of cash flow. Isn't this amazing? This is this simple math here, people. Addition and subtraction. That's all this is. The only thing that we're doing different is, instead of us paying this minimum monthly payment and paying all this interest over here, we're separating what we're putting in cash, right? And the rest of our income is going on the card. We're not putting any money into our savings account. Why? Because we're getting charged 25% interest over here. And you know how much interest you're going to be earning on your savings if you just keep your money sitting over there, right? So no, we're going to knock this out. We're going to knock these credit card payments out. I mean, these credit card debts out, right? And then you can start putting money in your savings. But we need to handle this first so you can get your what? So you get your cash flow, right? You need to get your cash flow game up. So that's what we do. We pay off these lines of credit so you can have this money in your pocket every single month instead of it going towards these banks and these credit cards. That's the game, and we need to play it. So, like I always do, we're going to go to school for a minute and we're going to see how much, if we actually paid this much in interest, right? What you're going to do is, I added up all the interest that we paid, which is $956.48. And you're going to get out your phone. Let's do this together. You're going to get out your phone and you're going to type in, you're going to go on Google and you're going to type in $956.48 is what percent? What do you think? What do you think number we're going to put there? Remember, we're going back to school here, right? the amount that we started with, 7,000, right? We're going to see if we actually paid 25%, right? Let's see. Let's see what Google says. So we got a number here. Not too bad, not too bad, not too bad. So let's see. Mm-hmm. 13.66%. That's still over double digits, but I'd rather pay this right here than this 25%, wouldn't you? So we need to start playing a percentage game. Instead of thinking about dollars all the time, we need to start thinking about the percentage game. This is less interest that we're getting charged, less interest that we're giving to these credit card companies and the bank, and we're playing with percentages. So the less you see of this, the more you're going to have in your pocket and in your bank account. As long as this number right here is beating whatever percent that we have on these lines of credit, we win it. That's what we want to do. And remember, this is on the high side because I was charging the interest on the highest balance every single month. Now, if you ever wanted to, in these scenarios, figure out interest costs more in line of what you would be paying, basically, you would take the interest, you would calculate the interest on the highest balance, calculate the interest after all the income goes in, this number right here, and calculate the interest after your expenses come out. You're going to come up with three numbers. And then you're going to divide that number by 3. And you're going to get the interest cost, the average interest cost that you're going to be paying. In this case, you're probably going to be in the 120s instead of 145. It's not that big of a difference, but hey, I'll take $20. You want $20? I'll take 20. That's going out to lunch one day. I'll take it. Yeah, 13.66%. And on a bonus on that, right? We can't forget about them credit card rewards. At 1%, charging $1,870 times 11 months. Look at that right there. $205.70. You're going to be getting $18.70 per month. At 1.5, you're going to be getting $28.05 per month. Times that by 11. That's $308.58. That's how much rewards you're going to be getting. And these rewards are kind of on the low end because some of these cards have different categories. Like if you're shopping, you might get 3% or 5%. If you go get some gas in your car, you might get 3% on that. But I like using these low numbers right here just to see the power of what you're going to be getting back. At the least, taking $1,870 off of the balance or off of the interest cost every single month throughout here. Mm-hmm. So once you get towards the end, you're barely going to be paying any interest, right? Right here, you're paying $23.60. Well, your credit card rewards alone is going to wipe most of that out. If we were getting 1.5, you see this interest cost right here? You wouldn't even have it, right? Right here, we got $41. That's going to cut that in half. More than half, right? If we're doing that, what do you think is going to happen with this number right here? Is it going to go up or down? I shouldn't have to answer that. You already know the answer, right? This is how you pay off a $7,000 credit card, starting off with $400 of cash flow. So I just want to thank you for watching today. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below. And like I always say, get that cash flow.